Okay, so I reckon I've done more things wrong than right during this dark night of the soul. And that's a very ego thing that says you haven't done this right. But what's right? You're going to make mistakes along the way, but are they actually mistakes? And the thing is, it's not only about the mistakes, but it's about sometimes you feel like you're coping and sometimes you feel like you're not coping. When you make mistakes, that can exacerbate the lack of copingness, if that's a word. But is it right? Is there such things as mistakes in the dark night of the soul? And is it all right that sometimes you're just not going to feel like
What are
coping?
I always say that there's no wrong and right because when you're a baby, when you learn to crawl and walk, you're going to fall down and pick yourself up. So there's no right and wrong in that. You're learning. So part of this journey is to make mistakes and then correct what you know is wrong or right
Correct.
for yourself and for others. So yeah, trust me, I've done a lot of mistakes. And it says it in my birth chart in astrology as well. I have a lot of squares, which means I have a lot of lessons, and I appreciate them because it helps me grow and learn. So yes, mistakes, don't worry. And we tell ourselves, oh my gosh, I made a mistake, this is wrong, this is wrong. But that's just because of the conditioning. So yeah.
It is. And maybe the way forward is changing the word mistakes to experiences or learnings. Because if you do something that you would classify as a mistake, what if you classified it as an experience or a learning experience? How would it be? How might that affect your thinking and your progress? And how would that help on days where you're not coping? You know, and what does it mean to not cope? It just means that at that time, right now, what you're going through is more than you can handle in that moment. That's all right. Where
Yeah.
is it written that says you have to be able to handle things all the time, every single second of the day?
Mm.
And sometimes not coping and stepping away is the delay you might need in order for more knowing or learning or answers or support to come to you to help you.
Yes.
So sometimes not coping could be a positive, dare I say?
I would say it's a positive because if you're not coping, you probably don't understand the process yet. So it takes time to develop that.
Mm.
And yeah, part of the coping and mistakes is part of that journey. So, I mean, if we've been told many things like we can't do this, can't say this, can't do this, can't experience that, can't, you know, that's suppressing a lot of the things that you would have learned by making mistakes and coping with it during that time. But now we have to go through the harder way because of all this conditioning. So yeah, challenge these mistakes, challenge those coping mechanisms because that helps you grow. At the end of the day, it's going to help you grow.
Don't judge yourself if, on a day where you've maybe made what you consider a mistake. Maybe you're not coping, or both. You know, you're not coping. You made a mistake. That's okay. The fact that you're aware of it means that you can change in time when you're ready. So that's actually a positive. If you weren't aware and kept doing the same mistake over and over again, that might be a bit of an issue.
Mm.
Um, but the fact that you're aware and acknowledging, awake to the idea, hang on, this didn't feel right or this felt wrong. Maybe, or I'm struggling. That's great. Allow yourself to go through that and experience that and come back to whatever it is when you're in a better place. There's nothing wrong with it. And you might also find by stepping back a little bit and just allowing the experience to unfold, you might find that what you thought initially was a mistake wasn't a mistake, just you couldn't see the rightness of it at that time, and that's okay.
Mm.
We're not chasing perfectionism. Perfectionism is an illusion, as we've said in previous videos. It's not about perfection, it's about progression.
Yes, I agree, 100%. Yes, it's a challenge. Trust me, like, sometimes I'm hard on myself. And that's probably because I'm used to that, and or maybe because I'm willing to challenge what it is that I need to face, experience the mistakes that I made, even those mistakes that I thought they were mistakes weren't mistakes. That makes sense. Yeah, and coping with it is another challenge. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
I think the biggest aim for this video was to let you know it's okay to make mistakes, and it's all right if some days you don't feel like you're coping. It's heavy work, and having weak, for lack of a better term, weaker days is okay. It's part of that journey too. It's recognizing when you just when you need to take a break or step back a little bit, because that's all part of self-awareness as well, and
mm,
self-development.
yes,
Yeah,
agreed. Yeah, it all takes time and patience.
bloody patience.
It is. It's a process. It's a big one. It's like, but I would give you this advice. I would say like mistakes or no mistakes. Embrace it. Like say thank you and don't blame yourself. Oh, why does this happen to me or for me? And play the victim card or whatever.
Pat yourself on the back for the awareness that you have, and the awareness that, hang on, what I did wasn't the best thing I could have done.
Mm,
Because without that awareness, you can't change anything.
mm. Yeah, so embrace it and enjoy the experience, because you didn't, maybe some of you weren't taught this. Like, I know I wasn't taught maybe there were some things I was taught, some things I had to learn on my own. So, yeah, embrace it. Say thank you. It's like, show your gratitude because it teaches you something more about yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it builds character, believe it or not.
yeah.
So be good to yourself. Don't judge. Don't be harsh. Have some compassion. Mistakes are a part of the journey. Having days where it feels difficult to cope is part of the journey. It's okay. Let things unfold.
Yeah.
You'll get through it a lot better if you do.
Yeah. And I've like had an insight from someone the other day. Like he mentioned something about me that I wasn't aware of, but when he brought it to my attention, I was like, I noticed it more. And I was like, oh, so it was like a defense mechanism that I had for myself, and I didn't realize I might have developed it since I was a young girl. And yeah, and I appreciate people that come to you and notice these things that you didn't notice about yourself, because then you can look deeper in yourself and say, and actually thank him, like I thank you, for telling me that, because it helped me understand myself more and why I do certain things. So yeah,
There you go.
not a mistake. Yeah,
Cool. We're good with that?
I'm good with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for watching and listening.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to your friends, family, and yeah, tell us your thoughts. Write down a comment, and yeah, we'd like to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Till then, thank you again, and peace be with you.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya.